Hey friends, we just recorded one episode and then we realized we finished the podcast. And after finishing the podcast, we had such a nice talk. And I think at the moment we're trying to figure out things and trying to talk really with each other.
Maybe let's follow back into this. Last week I was in a train and I listened to some music on my AirPods, and then I was just looking at all the people, and then I realized like everyone is in their own way. Everyone follows their passion, but they're like, I thought like every single one is going to a job, to a 9-to-5 job, and I thought like, are they liking what they're doing? And for me the answer is like, there are some people that 100% they definitely like their jobs, but there are so many people that just go to work because they need money and they're like in the safe system.
Yeah.
And that's what I really came up with an idea to make a film out of this.
Oh, nice.
Like showing like different people or like, for me, I was like, man, these people are all trapped in a system.
Yeah.
But there are some people that go out of the system. And that's what really motivated me. And I was like, I felt that like one of them that are going out of the system, but I still was like going to school. And I think this would be, I don't know how the short film will end up after I filmed it, but it's just some random thoughts. And maybe we can discuss about this, how we can make this happen into a short film, how I can do it.
Like, I really like the idea that the funny thing is, I think like a lot of people have this idea that, oh man, we're just all trapped in a system, that we have like this idea. And I think really nice would be to visualize the idea. So it's not like you don't film people. It's not like that you film exactly what you saw. You film something that is symbolic for that thing.
I thought the same about that. Yeah.
But I also thought about, like in school I have like a friend, or we had like a school meetup there was like one guy who made a lot of money with crypto, and there was another guy who is like a farmer, and they had a chat with each other. And the farmer told him, I never went to holidays. Like he just went one time to Italy 1 week, and this was like the farthest he ever go. And there was like the other guy traveling around the world, made a lot of money. And then he talked about, hey, the crypto guy told the farmer, why do you don't go to holidays? And he was, and he like, it's nice here. I like it here. And then I realized like they are both really happy with what they're doing, and it doesn't need to be like, it needs to fit for you. And if it fits for you that you work in Switzerland and you're happy with that, that's nice. But I think the problem is a lot of people don't think about what makes them happy, or they don't allow themselves to think what makes you happy. And I think the farmer really knew quite well what I'm doing here. I'm really happy. That's exactly what I want to do. And I think that could be maybe the message, that some people are really happy with what they do, but some people are really unhappy. And the problem is because they don't allow themselves to reflect and think, is that the life that I want to live, or do I want to live another life?
I think that's exactly the message I want to tell in the film, and have like a good mix of both. Still show like people that are trapped in the system, or that are not lucky with what, not happy with what they're doing. So I think this is it's a really interesting approach you gave me. I think people want to see progress. That's really important. And I also want to, for me, it's like, I'm building my media agency at 17. And for people, this is still my biggest USP, that I'm young and doing what I love. And people followed me, and then someone wrote a comment and said, I will come back to this reel in 6 months.
Ooh.
And let's see how your progress, how your progress made, how big your progress went.
Yes.
And this actually motivated me to make a reel. And I'm now uploading this reel today, maybe. Let's see. Where I talked about it only takes 6 months. So think about yourself where you were 6 months ago.
Yes.
And think 6 months from then to now.
Yeah, I think if you go after what you like, then it's also really, if you have like a goal that is like not so fulfilling, it takes a lot of energy to do it. But if it's something that you really enjoy, then it doesn't take a lot of energy. And maybe what could be a nice thing is that you also say people, hey, in 6 months, I will like all the comments here on this post. So you will get a notification as a reminder. I think it really builds like a personal relationship with you. Oh man, this guy holds me accountable. And then maybe sometimes when they think about your dream, they think about you, and it's a motivation for them. And through this, you helped a lot of people to get a bit closer to their goal. And the crazy thing is like, maybe you help just one person and changes their whole life. But it's also the possibility that you change hundreds' life in just one reel.
That's literally my biggest why. Inspire other people. And I do know that it worked because some people DM'd me and told me, man, which camera should I buy? I'm starting to getting into filmmaking. And for me, this is like, I did the same. I was like reaching out to creators 3 years ago and asked them some questions. And I was so pumped when they replied and was motivated to keep going this. And now I'm like, people are DMing me.
That's insane.
That's so insane. Yeah.
There's also really nice motivation if people hear this podcast, they hear the story from you that you were like in the same, maybe our people are in the same story, that they think, oh man, I also want to inspire other people. And but how did you start it? Like, when did you start with filmmaking?
Well,
3 years ago?
I was always into cameras. Yeah. With 6 years old, I made some stop motion movies. And then like I realized, that's an interesting part for me. Had like a little camera and did everything. It's like you always take one frame and move the Lego figures a little bit more. And then it comes down to life. And that's how it literally started for me. And then I had a big break, and then I was more into building stuff like woodworks or like electronic parts and with Raspberry Pis and like this. And then something clicked, and I needed to search a job for me. And was like, I did a test work for a TV company, and it really motivated me. It was really into this. And then I thought, maybe let's start shooting some videos with my phone. And then actually it was a really big coincidence that we went to our first bigger trip to Finland, to South Finland in summer. And then I thought, wow, this should be my start, and maybe let's buy a camera, because I was so inspired by the travel films on YouTube. It was this time, and then I bought this camera and everything changed. It was starting to create like sport videos for my friends in school. And at the beginning I didn't have like much friends that are into filmmaking. Actually 2 years I had no friends in the same niche, and this really holded me back. But then I started to travel a bit more and going to this filmmaker meetups and doing our creator meetup. We do every single month once, and this really started to click and really clicked in my head. And maybe why not do this for a client? And then I thought, let's reach out to some clients on Instagram. And I did one job for free, an Instagram video for a food truck in my town. And then they really liked it. And then I thought, let's earn some money alongside school. It was still in school. And then I started building my agency then. And then I got into my apprenticeship as an interactive media designer. And then I thought, 9 to 5 is nothing for me. I want to be a founder of my film company. And this is really my story in a short amount of time told.
And what was like the people that you watched that inspired you to do the Finland travel videos? Was it like any specific? Like Sam Calder or
Daydream Duo? I don't know.
Daydream? I don't know them, yeah.
I don't know the exact YouTube name, but it was a YouTube video about Italy, a travel video with a song, and I felt in love with this song that I also used this song. And for me, it's like, first it was more like the feeling, but also important to me was also the visual style. Transitions and visual style for me. I didn't get in with story that much when I started with filming. And now you told us, or maybe you inspired me a lot to get more into story sides and combine everything in once. Yeah.
That's the nice thing. Like with filmmaking, there's always something that we can learn. Like, we can learn the lighting, we can learn the camera. And
absolutely.
Now we're in the season of storytelling season.
For me, it's the same. Personal branding, storytelling, 2026. This is my next chapter. Yeah.
Personal branding. Yeah, I think that's a really interesting story from you, that you had like an idea to make travel films, and then through the travel films, then you had the idea, maybe I can also get money for this. And so I think the most important thing is that you believe in yourself first, and then you do it. And since I realized this, that you first need to believe and then you do it, that changed a lot for me. And so I think also, like, when you build your company, it's really important to dream big and believe really in that. And when we started, we had like, there was like, I met my coworker, we met weekly, and we always had like weekly meeting to build our film company and to get better at our skills. And then we had like from the Swiss, there was like a Swiss foundation that helped young startups to grow their company. And we were in that, how do you say, school. And like every week there was like a meeting with like a expert or a mentor. And there was like one woman that really inspired me. And she told me, you really have to first believe it, or the best thing, visualize it, and then it gets real. And she told a story. She's like, she works for big companies and works with big CEOs together. She made like a mood board, a visualization of her dream life. A big garden, a big house, living at the lake, having a man who is creative and builds his own wood things, a lot of different things. And then she put away this letter, and around 10 years later or so, she found the letter and she realized, crazy, I have a garden, I live at the lake, I have a man who does this. And she really felt like it's really important, if where you want to go in life, you need a clear visualization of that thing. And the clearer, or I think the most clear, is like if you see it visually, the better it is. And I think really important for you at the beginning is like to imagine what are my dream clients, what is my dream life, where do I want to live, and print it out on a paper or maybe as your phone background. And then you always get reminded by it, hey, I want to go to this direction.
I want to do a vision board for 2026. I know it's a bit late, but doing like the one big vision board where I print out some images and put all the clients I've dreamed of working together, and also my imagination on how my life is going to look like in 20 years or something like this. And then maybe after, when I'm like in 20 years and into my life, then I can look back at this vision board and see like, wow, like you told us, I got this, and everything just worked out in the end. And I think it's also a really nice motivation to note down every single goal you have, and then come back to this letter you wrote to yourself in 6 months. And this was also like the goal of the reel I'm gonna post really soon. I think like
a really great example for this is if you always look out if you see red cars. If you just focus 1 week, you always see red cars. You just think, oh, there comes a car. It can't be a red car, and then it's a red car. Like if you just focus on that thing. And I think the same is like with opportunities. If you have a clear vision where you want to go, maybe you walk through a street and then you see, that's a filmmaker. And you just hear him talk about something. And then you just go to him, hey, I'm Lua, I'm a filmmaker. But if you don't have a clear vision, you don't think, talking to this person, but that is a bit a hurdle for me to talk with him, then you don't do it. But if you have a clear vision, you do the things that bring you closer to that thing. And having a clear focus and a clear vision is really, I think, the most leveraged thing that you can do.
Yeah,
to know exactly where you want to go.
I also think that's the part where AI helps a lot in this. I've come along the second brain in all our podcasts. Yeah. I think it's so important to always note down your ideas. Also, if you think it's a bad idea, so you have more space for a new good idea that comes up. And just write everything down into Claude and give it a tag second brain. And I've built this skill that it automatically connects with Notion and summarizes it and puts your thoughts into Notion. And I can always go back and see, this was an idea of mine. Maybe that's a good idea. Let's mix it with a new idea. And really helps me to reflect. And also it helps me to not burn out, because I always have so many ideas in my head. And if I'm not noting them down on a piece of paper or in Notion, I still carry them when I go to sleep. And then I'm like stressed. I want to forget them. And I think that's so important. Even if I wake up in the night, I speak into Claude, tell them my ideas. He puts it into Notion. I can go back to sleep without having so I have a free mind then.
I feel the same. Like sometimes when I have so many great ideas, it feels really frustrating for me to not write them down or just don't do anything with them. And I think also if you don't do something with your ideas, then with time more ideas don't come, because your mind is like, oh man, new idea means stress. But if it's like, a new idea, dopamine hit, I did something with it, something useful, then you train your brain to get more ideas.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think also with the vision board, it's really nice to have like for me, it's like every 2 months, I really try to think, okay, where I want to go in life, what is my vision? And because every time I do it, it feels like I feel a new focus. Like it gives me so much energy to just know where I want to go. But also after 2 months, I really lose a bit the clearness and lose myself a bit in the process. And then I refocus on that. The funny thing is, my girlfriend and I, when we met like last year at the beginning of the year, and she made a vision board for her year as her backdrop. And I also made a vision board for myself. And the first date we had, I looked at her phone. You made a vision board. And then we just showed us our vision boards. And it was a really nice way to connect, like, hey, these are my goals that I want to do. I want to reach this in life. And I think that's a really nice way to connect with people. And maybe if we do a filmmaker meetup or our next branding thing, it would be nice, like if every one of us prepares a vision board and explains it to other people.
Yeah, I had the same idea. It always is for me, it's very hard to tell the same things if I'm introducing myself to another person, I always tell something different. Yeah. And if I would have a vision board, I can just look at these different pictures and I see, I got this, and I can tell them, and I always introduce myself the right way. And that's why I think your USB is so good. My goal is to win an Oscar and share my knowledge along the way. It's the perfect USB. I can connect every single time I hear this. I know, that's Robin, that's you. Yeah. And this really helps me. And you can say this to every single person and they know, wow, that's your dream. And then they really understand that you're into filmmaking and story without even that you told them about films.
And the funny thing is, like, for me, it was like really like at the beginning when we started our film company, like 6 years ago, we named our company Kollektiv Oskar because we knew at the beginning we want to win an Oscar because we want to make films that inspire people to be better. I want to make films that are like, film Ratatouille was really inspiring for me to just go after your dream. And we wanted people really connect with it, and the Oscar was a nice thing for that. But with time, I really changed, like my vision changed, like a bit more left or to the right. And when I started YouTube or this personal branding film, I had a lot of struggle to find what is my USP or what is my goal that I want to reach. Till I went back, why did I start it? I want to win an Oscar. And the thing that I have, like working on your vision, I think it's really important to work with other people on your vision.
Yeah.
In my case, I have like I don't know if you know Levi. He's a photographer, Sony ambassador.
And he's amazing.
And we had like a year ago, we had a phase like we met every week, and then we worked together on our vision and really focused clear on that. And through this, I think I saved a lot of time. And I think if I did the learning about the vision alone, it wouldn't be that fast and also not that good because the other people challenges you to think about your vision. And maybe a short idea, in a podcast we can do work together on our vision, or we can make a mood board about our vision, and then we can talk about our vision. That would be also nice.
Yeah, that would be a nice idea. And I also think it's important that we make a physical mood board.
Yes.
That has like a picture frame and like a nice material, a nice color. I think for you it's like the red color. For me, like it fits your needs and fits your personal style.
Yes.
And then we can maybe hang this up in our background. And we can also look at this mood board and just reflect all the things. And then, maybe
that would be awesome. Yeah.
Might be a nice idea.
Yeah, let's do this in the next maybe the next podcast, a vision board.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And I think this is also a really great end the podcast, to look forward to the next one. And if you have any feedback to us, how we can make our podcast better, we still try to figure things out and try to be more authentic, as you heard. And let us know in the comments. From my side, it was really nice to talk with you. See you on the next one. Last word is to you.
Yeah, see you on the next one. Stoked to see your feedback and enjoy.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.